Greetings, fellow broken masses.
Greetings, fellow Postmasters, I am Rowsell, and it's once again time to Crash the Skylines with another top 5 video. Well, it's not really top 5, it's just 5 in general. But as you can see by what's around me with, the spooky skeletons and the hand lights, and you got a couple of the Skylander variants kicking around here too. It's Halloween, and I'm dressed up for the occasion. I'm a fox. Look, I have a tail and everything. So I'm a fox dressed up for the Halloween season, and hey, it's Halloween season. Last year's video, I didn't think I did a Halloween video if I think about it. But I decided this year we're going to do something a little bit creepy. Now I could do the scariest Skylanders or the spookiest levels or spookiest happenings in Skylanders, but I thought I'd go a little bit more crazy. I thought I'd go a little bit more scary and get you guys involved. So today I'm discussing 5 conspiracy theories within Skylands. So before I continue, you may recognize my voice is a little bit hoarse. I've been under the weather recently, so I apologize for that in advance. Also, these are all 100% theories. So some of these came up from you guys online, one I came up with myself, and one is a huge one that's being discussed currently around the Skylander world. And I know you're probably not going to take them seriously with my face, but hey, that's what we're here for. So, I'm really excited to get right into these. So, if you guys have your own conspiracy theories after this, leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on it and everything like that. So let's hop right in for the first one. So the first one is from Skylanders Academy Season 2. So if you haven't seen Skylanders Academy Season 2, I suggest you skip ahead the video. I'm going to put a timestamp right here so you can skip ahead to the video. Go to that mark. You'll skip this entire section so you'll avoid the spoiler for this video. So I'll give you a second to click ahead there now. It's right there. So I'm assuming since you didn't skip ahead that you know that Eon might be Kaos's dad. So at the end of Skylanders Academy Season 2, Eon took off his helmet. And Eon's never taken off his helmet, so you have no clue what's going on. So he took it off and revealed that he has the same exact emblem as your boy Kaos. As you can see, Kaos's little emblem on his face there, he has the exact emblem on his head. So there's a bunch of conspiracies going around saying that Eon could be Kaos's dad, or maybe he's related to him somehow. Because they also revealed Strikor. Strikor could be Kaos's dad, but along with that, there's a big theory that Kaos's mom, Cassandra, as soon as he took it off, she was shocked. So they're thinking maybe he couldn't be his father because Cassandra would obviously know that. But maybe they're thinking that he could be related, and Cassandra didn't know that. So now Kaos is hanging out with Strikor and thinking that he's his father, but maybe Strikor dressed up, who looks like Eon, for example, dressed up as Eon so he could try to become friends with Kaos. So maybe there's a whole reason behind it. So I have a theory here on Reddit. Shout out to DC Dart. Eon drops a huge shock when he lifts his helmet, showing the same head tattoos as Kaos, meaning that Eon may be Kaos's father. This may also seem relevant given how Strikor seems to want to distance himself from Kaos. Makes kind of sense. Now my theory is that somehow Kaos still thinks Strikor is his father, Eon and Cassandra defeat Strikor, which would lead to why Kaos seems to not enjoy his mother's company and why he has a hatred for Eon. That would be why Kaos wants to defeat Eon and defeat the Skylanders. Makes a lot of sense in my opinion. I'm very excited to see what they lead into with Season 3 because they have so much to milk on right now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Season 3. So I want you guys to give me your opinion on that theory below. Do you think Eon is Kaos's father, or is he an uncle? Who knows? Let me know in the comments. So the next one is a pretty popular one I read online. It's about how Skylanders is split into 2 timelines after Trap Team. Because you may have noticed you capture Kaos in Trap Team. And it could count for Swap Force 2, but we're going to say it's in Trap Team. So in Trap Team, you notice you trap Kaos and he becomes a good guy. But the problem is, in Superchargers, he becomes bad again. And the same goes for Imaginators. So you may know that he escapes and no one really understands how, and that's just, I guess, video game logic. But he becomes evil again. But in Supercharged, he becomes the good guy again. It helps you out by giving you missions and all that stuff. And in Imaginators, he and Glumshakes gets caught and trapped in that little glass chamber that was there. So looking at it, you're like, okay, that was kind of weird, because all 3 games kind of link together, and in Swap Force, Trap Team, it kind of splits up. So there's a theory going around that Skylanders after Trap Team splits into two storylines, or two separate timelines. So shout out to Xantra3000 on Reddit. He has the theory written here, so I'll read it out for you. It's starting to seem like Superchargers never took place in the world of Imaginators. Kaos is still evil and still has his powers. The mission that we were shown with Jetpack has him in his original form and not his Superchargers form. And the story of how the villains become Sensei characters make it sound like this game is a direct sequel to Trap Team. It'll be interesting to see what direction Skylanders 7 goes in, since it seems like the Toys for Bob games are going off of their own timeline. Which is interesting, which does make a lot of sense, because why would Jetpack be regular Jetpack again if he came from Superchargers? So it makes sense that the timeline is kind of split up. Maybe there's two separate timelines. A lot of stuff involved with that, well, it's like Kaos, becoming good and evil along with the villains, for example, because you have all these, like Golden Queen, for example, she, even in Skylanders Academy, along with the other villains, are still, bad. Like, they're bad guys. But you look at the Imaginators, they got these senseis of Wolfgang and Chompy Mage and Golden Queen, and they became good again. They decided to teach the Skylanders. But in Superchargers, they were still villains, because they were doing the villain races. So it's kind of a good theory that they split up in between. It makes a lot of sense, and I want to know your guys' opinion on it below. Do you think that it was Trap Team where it split the timelines apart, and now there's two separate timelines? Who knows? We'll find out when Skylanders 7 comes out eventually. So this one is a really good one in my opinion. When I was researching theories, I wanted to try to come up with some kind of fun ones and kind of ones that made a lot of sense. And this one here makes a lot of sense. Flynn and Buzz, father and son. Well, opposite actually. Flynn's the son, Buzz is the father. So Flynn is Buzz's son. That's a really cool theory in my opinion. So shout out to Chompy King 257 who has a spooky skeleton in his thing. So he says Buzz is either Flynn's father or Flynn himself is from another timeline or dimension. This can be supported by the many similarities they bear. The fact that they both loudly exclaim their catchphrases that contain the word boom, makes sense, boomsticks and boom. They are both deeply love enchiladas, Captain Cluck's fried chicken, and flying, and how multiple other characters remark how they are alike. Also, Flynn mentioned in Trap Team that he's never knew his father, but he says that he was a trainer of the Trap Team. That could be Buzz. However, Buzz could also be the same person as Flynn who is older and from another realm. Makes a lot of sense, but I'm going to stick to the fact that he is his father. Because you look at them, they're kind of similar. They look similar. Not only the way they act and their liking and all that stuff, they look very similar. It's just like myself and my dad. If you saw me and my dad, first thing you notice is that we look very alike. Now, me and my dad have a bunch of different likes and dislikes and all that, but we have similar interests. Like how they love enchiladas and the chicken and flying. My dad and myself love listening to old classic rock. It's two things that we love. We like going out and just having a couple drinks and hanging out listening to live music, stuff like that. It's little things they have in common, which is something like that. It's just things that I guess he grew up to like just because maybe he saw his father when he was younger doing it. Who knows? It's a really good theory in my opinion. It makes a lot of sense, and I love to see what Skylanders will do with that in the future. But let me know if you guys believe Flynn and Buzz are related in the comments below. Okay, so this next one is going to be a little bit more complicated for you younger viewers. You might not understand this one. But Toys for Bob is the company that works with the Skylander team on Activision and all that, and recently they've been going through a lot of troubles when it came to the Skylander games. The Skylander games aren't as popular as they used to be, so I'm guessing it's kind of harder for them to do their job and stuff like that. So there's a lot of problems between Activision and Toys for Bob for that reason. So this theory is from the Cursed Tiki Temple. Someone is claiming that the Cursed Tiki Temple is based off of Toys for Bob right now. It's a kind of interesting theory, and I'm going to read out what he says, and if you don't understand, that's okay. Just bear with me on this one. I just found this one really interesting. So this is from Zap Norris on the Dark Spyro website. I forgot to say the last one from Dark Spyro 2. So as we all know, Toys for Bob is going through hard times. And now that I've played through CTT, the Cursed Tiki Temple, I have a feeling this level's some kind of allegory, which is a common, kind of like a call for help type thing. First off, there's the setting. Toys for Bob's office is Tiki themed. The level is a Tiki temple. Second, and most importantly, the main NPC, spoiler, it's not Cinder. Bob, aka the floating Tiki head, is the main NPC. Cinder appears for approximately 2 scenes in a level, that's it. Makes a lot of sense. Bob gets the theory rolling. Toys for Bob of course, is toys for Bob. Bob, the Tiki-themed entity. Makes a lot of sense. Once you get to the actual temple, it begins to regain memory and states the following. Whoever built this temple made it to honor the dragons, but the evil that is taken it honors nobody. Okay? This single quote launches the theory into overdrive. To honor the dragons may be referring to the game 1, where Spyro's brought back and honored as the main star, Skylander and Spyro's Adventure. The evil that possesses it now honors nobody may be Activision's plans. The possessment may be the employees being laid off or the headquarters being taken down bit by bit. The honors nobody part refers to the mindset of Activision. They honor no single creator or being, only the profits they make. They honor nobody. Makes a lot of sense with that one. The voodoo doll enemies might reference the actual toys and prototypes of Skylanders, and the curse could be Activision's layoffs, plans, and mismanagement for the franchise created by Toys for Bob. In conclusion, the real story of Cursed Tiki Temple is about a once peaceful and prosperous company with a Tiki aesthetic being overtaken and put to ruin by the curse of capitalism and profits over passion. So myself, I looked at that one and said, that's a crazy theory. It makes too much sense that it's all put together like that. Because this may be Toys for Bob's last game when it comes to Skylanders, which sucks, because Toys for Bob's been with it since day one. Along with that, it's just everything that he said makes a lot of sense. Like, they did that last hurrah, being like, you know what, this is the game now. Activision wouldn't catch on to it. They think it's just a fun little level for us to play. It's nuts. It's actually nuts how that makes so much sense. If you guys don't understand it, that's okay. You don't need to understand it. Myself, I think this is one of the coolest theories I've read in a long time. So let me know what your opinions on it in the comments below. So the last one is a theory I came up with. You know Chop Chop? Did you know that Chop Chop has a father? He's a father of Crypt King. Now, I can already see the keyboard warriors coming out like, no, he was just a prototype. Well, I researched it a little bit, and do you know what Crypt King's original character was? Well, he was going to start out as a giant. He was going to be the undead giant. So sorry, Raw, one of my favorite giants. Sorry you almost got deleted there. But Crypt King was going to be part of the giants. The original design, his name was literally Chop Chop Daddy. If that don't make it obvious that he is the father of Chop Chop, and I mean, look at these two characters. How similar do they look? They got the same three little things on their head, along with the mouth. Like, look at that. They both use swords as weapons. He has a built-in kind of shield, except he has a shield onto it. It's very, very coincidental that these two look very similar and they act the same way. And his original prototype name was Chop Chop Daddy. His original colors, however, look just like Chop Chop's. There is no possible way that this one can be argued that he is not the father of Chop Chop. If not, he's related to him somehow. But his name was Chop Chop Daddy, and this is Chop Chop. Chop Chop Daddy, if I'm not mistaken, usually means a father. Like Crash Rowsell Daddy. That's what I call my dad. I don't actually call him that. That's weird. So that's my theory, is that Crypt King is Chop Chop's dad. It's a good little theory, because it makes a lot of sense. That is going to do it for this Skylander conspiracy theory video. Let me know your opinions on these conspiracy theories. Do you think they're real? Did they make a lot of sense? I'll leave the links to each one of the conspiracies in the description below so you can look at all of them, except for my personal one, because unfortunately I don't have a theory made up for that one. I can link you to the fandom page that he has on the wiki, but that's the closest you're going to get. That's how I use most of it. Let me know your conspiracies too, because there was a lot of conspiracy theories online, but I decided to go with these 5 because I thought it would be like really cool and all that stuff, especially with Skylanders Academy just coming out and all that. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know by leaving a like and a comment below, and I got something really exciting to bring you guys on Monday, so you better stick around for a Monday video, because a certain Skylander was supposed to be given away, and the guy hasn't come back to me, so we'll talk about that on Monday. But as always, I bid you a happy Halloween, and farewell. Who just fell over? Oh, I need my... Spooky! Skylander fell over.